Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. We are so excited to do this fundraising live event. I am Alysson Bourque. I am the author of the Alycat series, and I am joined with Heather Duhon, who is the executive director of Foster the Love. Welcome, Heather.
Thanks for having us.
I am so appreciative of the Foster the Love organization for collaborating with me to do this fundraiser and bring awareness and support to the foster care system. I think it's so important that we bring awareness and we support these foster families that are doing so much for these children. And there's a great need and for this need and support in the foster community in Louisiana. And I am just overjoyed to be able to do this with you all.
Well, we're so happy. We thank you for um, finding your way to serve our foster community by partnering with us and doing this fundraiser. And our mission here at Foster the Love is to serve the children in the Louisiana foster system, support the families that are caring for them, and educating the community on the needs of the foster system. So we find that so many times that people want a way to get involved but don't know how, and maybe they're not called to foster or adopt, but they want to do something. And so after some time as a foster parent, and that's how Foster the Love came to be, just recognizing a need to support our families who are stepping up to foster children, who temporarily need a safe home while their parents are working to get themselves stronger. So we're excited. We thank you for partnering with us. We're excited that as part of our fundraiser, we get to do this live event with you guys, and we're excited to have Louisiana's First Lady, Miss Donna Edwards, on to share this event with us, and because she has done so much for the foster community in Louisiana, and we are very, very thankful for her and the awareness that she brings. And we're also excited that this week too we get to celebrate our second birthday as an organization, and we are really proud of our accomplishments, and we're really excited to be celebrating this time with you and with our amazing Facebook community.
Well, happy birthday. That is just such a wonderful thing. And like you said, not all of us are called to foster a child. I reflected on that when we started this fundraiser, and I thought, well, you know what? We can all do something. And by doing this fundraiser and raising funds for these foster families, it provides them support. And just like you said, we can all do something, even if we're not called to foster.
Right.
And so you mentioned that our First Lady would be here reading, and I am so honored that she has joined us. She is such a role model for our entire state. We also have some fun giveaways that we're going to do during this Facebook Live event, and so we can do one right now. We have a pack of camps to give away from the Little Gym of Lafayette, which is really fun for children out there right now. And the owner, Chelsea, has been so gracious to donate 5 different packs of camps for a week-long camp for children out there. And so for our first giveaway that we'll do, we're going to ask that you at home, all you viewers, if you want to submit your response in the comments, you can be entered to win the giveaway. All right, so the first person who responds, what is your favorite summer activity? So if whatever your favorite summer activity is, you will win a pack of for a 1 week camp at the Little Gym.
That's
And so
fun.
I know I love the Little Gym. My children love the Little Gym. We have a lot of people commenting happy birthday, Foster the Love. That is so sweet.
I
So sweet.
do.
So
I see some of our volunteers and board members commenting, and also some of our fellow foster organizations across the state jumping in too.
Okay, so Britt answered the beach. That is a really great activity. I actually just got back from the beach. It was so fun. So Britt wins the Little Gem camp pack. So we will get that to you.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
actually a former foster parent, so that's
Oh,
exciting.
that is so exciting. So, as an author of a children's book series, it's so important that all kids have access to books and maintain reading comprehension and excel in that. And so, case studies have shown that an unstable home life can limit literacy skills and create a disadvantage for young readers. So, we want kids to thrive. We want them to learn and feel safe with learning. And books can certainly help with that. And so, by partnering with Foster the Love for this fundraiser, Alycat and I are so honored to be able to help raise funds for this wonderful organization and awareness in a critical time in the lives of foster care and children.
Yeah, absolutely. And for our kids, especially for our kids coming into foster care, many times they are behind academically and developmentally, and so literacy is so important. Strengthening, supporting our foster families to be able to help our kiddos when they're coming into care to strengthen those areas of their lives and helping them get on track developmentally is so important.
Yep. So I am so honored that we have our First Lady of Louisiana here to read the newest book of the Alycat series, and she is such a role model. I know you agree, Heather, that she is wonderful, role model and advocate, and she was a teacher too. So
The importance of literacy as well.
yes. So I'm going to bring her up on our stream, and she will end up reading the newest book of the Alley series, which I am so incredibly honored. So let's see if we can welcome her into the show.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning.
I am so honored to
Welcome.
be a part of this.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you do for our great state. You are such an advocate. You're such a role model. And we just appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the things as First Lady, coming into this position, not really having a job description, except that I had to be married to the governor, right? Is trying to work my way through. And of course, my love of children came through as a former teacher, as you mentioned. But I see myself as a connector, and that's really where I have really excelled and just been able to help people. And Allie, when you reached out to my office and said, "I want to do something during this time of COVID-19, what can I do? I'd love to contribute or help." And so, we were so excited when you reached out to us and asked what you could do, because then we were like, okay, let's see what's going on in your area and partner you with someone. And so we were so blessed to be able to partner you with Foster the Love, because Heather, y'all are doing amazing work in your community. And, I always say that the foster children who are our state's children are our children. And so it is, it's up to us too to step forward and take care of these children. And so I've really amped up that area. In fact, we're working on some other virtual things with foster care, Louisiana Fosters. And of course, you can go to Louisiana First Foundation and learn more about just what we're doing with the foster care program. And we started something called One Church, One Family, One Child. And I would love for anybody who's listening to learn more about that and partner you and connect you with a church that's already doing it. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's all there, very easy. And so, just I think if everybody steps up and does their part, we will thrive, and we will share this love that we have for one another as people, as Louisianans, as just good neighbors.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And thank you, Miss Edwards, for reading different books from Louisiana authors. We appreciate it so much. It's such a tough time right now for authors. We kind of make our way by going into schools and doing author visits, and we can't do that right now. And your support and you giving us that exposure and giving children an opportunity to hear story times is just amazing. So thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. And I heard you say earlier about how important it is for literacy, especially in our homes that, just need a little support. And I know in Lafayette, they have a program, the Dolly Parton program there, Imagination, I believe it's called. And, we can't emphasize enough how important reading is. And just so many statistics show that having books in a home, multiple books is really increases the trajectory of a child's educational experience. And so it's so important for us to help out. And, I know as a mom of older children, we had tons of children's books that were just there and not being used. So even donating those to families, to foster care programs, so that we can spread out, and give back and really encourage reading.
Yes, that's wonderful. So I know you are a very busy lady, so we will get started with your story time of Alycat and the Tournament Tuesday. And I just have to say, I'm very honored that you are reading my book. And my own children, who are 11 and 9, every time they see you reading one of, I say our books because they've helped, they are just over the moon. So I'm going to minimize Heather and I, and we'll give you the full stage.
Okay, well, thank you so much. So this is normally my reading, my Thursday that I do a virtual reading. So this morning, in supporting what Alycat series is doing for Foster the Love in her community, I'm reading Alycat and the Tournament Tuesday. So this is, even though it's not Tuesday, it's Thursday. And of course, the author, Alysson Bourque, and the illustrator, Chiari Cavanti. So here I go. And I love in the very beginning where it says, "Quiet, please." That's a cute little addition. Alycat and the Tournament Tuesday. It was a race down the stairs, the start of a day Alycat and Bugsy called Tournament Tuesday. "I won," said Bugsy. "Not by much," Alycat panted. "Besides, the golf ball you left on the stairs slowed me down." "It's my lucky ball," Bugsy replied. "It helped me win the race." "You're just lucky I didn't get hurt," Alycat said in her sisterly voice. "You really shouldn't leave it there." "Time to go," Mom called. "Everyone gather your things." Bugsy grabbed his golf clubs. Alycat grabbed her shoes. "Don't forget your glove, hat, and golf balls, Bugsy," said Dad. "Got it, Caddy Daddy," Bugsy joked. As Mom, Dad, Bugsy, and Alycat got in the car, Bugsy realized something was missing. "My lucky golf ball!" Bugsy shouted. "I can't play well without it." "It's not luck that helps your golf game," Mom said. "It's practice and hard work." "But I just can't play without it," Bugsy replied. "I'll miss every shot." If you insist," said Mom. "Alycat, please run in and grab Bugsy's lucky golf ball." "It's the one with," Bugsy began. I know," Alycat interrupted. "The one I almost tripped over this morning, the one with the star on it. I'll get it." When they arrived at the golf course, Alycat spotted Phoebe, Chester, and Spotty and ran to cheer them on. Bugsy headed to the practice range with Harvey. "What you got in your hand, Alycat?" Spotty asked. "Oh, this is Bugsy's lucky ball," said Alycat. "I need to give it to him before he tees off. See, it has a..." "Oh, no!" As Alycat looked closer at the ball, she realized that it didn't have a star on it. Uh-oh. Wonder what's going to happen. "I brought the wrong ball," Alycat shouted. "Bugsy will be so upset." "It's okay," said Phoebe. "He'll understand. Just tell him you made a mistake. Or, said Alycat, maybe I can help him see that he doesn't even need luck after all. Do you have a marker, Spotty? Here, you can borrow this one, Spotty said. I hope you were sure about this. Carefully, Alycat drew a star on the golf ball. Rue, Luna, and Spotty teed off and started their rounds. Next up to the tee box were Bugsy and Harvey. Wait, Alycat shouted. Don't forget your ball. Here you go. Thanks, sis, said Bugsy. I don't know what I would do without my lucky ball. Good luck, said Alycat. Bugsy teed up his ball and took his first swing. He drove the ball so high in the air you could barely see where it landed. Phew, Alycat said with relief. It worked. He didn't notice. On the 18th hole, Bugsy was even par, a perfect round. After teeing off, the ball soared high in the sky and landed in a puddle of water. That's okay, Bugsy said as he ran with his towel. Bugsy grabbed his ball from the puddle and wiped it dry. But as it dried, the ball changed. Wait a second, said Bugsy. This isn't my ball. Alycat sunk low in the golf cart. She turned to Phoebe and whispered, the marker must have come off. Uh-oh. There's the little star. He's discovered. I wonder what you would do if it happened to you. Let's see what he does. Alycat, this isn't my lucky ball, said Bugsy. Whose ball is this? I'm sorry, Bugsy, Alycat said sadly. I grabbed the wrong ball, but I knew you could play well with or without your lucky ball, so I drew a star on this one. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the truth. How will I play well now? Bugsy asked. I need my lucky ball. You don't need your lucky ball to play well, Bugsy, Mom said. You practice with hard work, and that is enough. Mom is right, said Alycat. Besides, you've played well without your lucky ball so far. Let's go, Bugsy, Dad called. It's your putt. Bugsy ran to meet Dad. Still worried about not having his lucky ball, he put the ball next to the puddle, where it had landed and lined up to take his next shot. Take your time, said Dad. Keep your eye on the ball, just as we have practiced. Bugsy swung the putter like a pendulum, and the ball rolled straight into the hole. Please make it, Alycat thought. All right. Let's turn the page and see who thinks he's going to make it. The ball rolled right into the hole. I did it, Bugsy yelled, jumping up and down. Even par, my best score yet. You see, Mom said as she hugged him tight, your practice and hard work paid off. With a score like that, you may even have a new lucky ball, said Alycat. Thanks, sis, said Bugsy, but I don't think I need one after all. You're right, said Alycat. And I always love at the end where Alycat's ABCs of golf. So she's got all kinds of great explanations of what different golf terms are. So like a birdie is a score of 1 under par as a whole. So what a great book, Allie. Thank you so much. And I always love to see you with your Alycat.
Oh, you're muted, Allie. Ah. Alysson, you're muted. Oh,
This
no.
was
Gotta love technical difficulties.
that's right.
We definitely appreciate you being here today and reading, and we appreciate all that you do for our community and our state. And it really is inspiring and an honor to be a part of it as a foster parent and as also founder and director of an organization within the state that is serving these children and families.
Heather, we want to thank you for what you're doing for the children of our state. And I just appreciate you and other foster parents that are just stepping out. And, you know, like Allie had mentioned earlier, not everyone can be a foster parent, but everyone can do something. And so I think that's more important for us to understand what can we do. And so, you know, one of the things I just did was launched a new interactive page on my Louisiana Fosters page. And you can go there, you can click on your area of the state, click on that and see what organizations like Foster the Love are in your own community. And so I encourage everybody to go to Louisiana First Foundation, click on Louisiana Fosters, and learn what's in your community that you can give back to.
Right, absolutely. Because I mean, it's, you know, our foster families, they make, it's a lot. It takes a lot to be a foster family, and it's every sacrifice that it takes. But you know, the only way that we can keep our foster families strong and we keep the good ones involved is by supporting them. And yeah, it's not everyone is called to do this, and it is a calling. But very much like you, I think from both a state and a church perspective, these kids are our kids, and we are responsible for them, and responsible to, you know, and as you know, as we continue to work on our QPI initiative, you know, of supporting our families too, not just the children who are in care, but the families that they belong to, and hopefully we're building a stronger Louisiana because we're strengthening families across the board. We're strengthening our foster families who are stepping up, but we're strengthening those families that these children come from. So
That's right.
We,
I think it's important to remember that these young people are going to grow up and be in our community, and we want them to thrive and be successful in our own communities. And so by giving back to them when they're young and giving them the strength and what they need to be good, you know, good neighbors, right? And so we want to encourage them in their walk also.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Allie. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I lost y'all for a second, but that's what these times have taught us, just to be flexible, even with technology.
That's right. That's
Thank
right.
you so much for reading the book. I was saying right before y'all lost me for a few minutes that I wrote the book in honor of my son, who's 9 years old, and he is an avid golfer. And he works really hard, and he practices and has this drive and determination like no other. And so it was kind of like a, you know, something for him to show our appreciation for him trying so hard at golf.
Well, Alysson, thank you so much for sharing your story and your gift and love of books and reading and children. And thank you for lifting up Foster the Love in your own community. So it's a blessing.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Well, God bless everybody. Thank y'all so much.
All right. So, Heather, I think it's time for another giveaway. Don't you think so?
So,
okay. So, for our next giveaway, which is a 1 week little gym pack, it's called a pack because you get to go to camp for 4 days during the week at the little gym for free. And this is in Lafayette. If you want to comment your answer, then the first one to comment wins. So the question is, what is your favorite dessert? So in Alycat in the Thursday Dessert Day, Alycat talks about her favorite dessert. So if you comment your favorite dessert in the comments in this feed, then you will win the little gym pack, which is a camp pack. It's really cool. So if we don't have anyone comment yet, we'll keep on going. And we now have another special guest. We have KATC's news personality, Katie Lopez. We're going to welcome her to our live event. Let me see if I can get her on here. Welcome, Katie.
hi,
Thank y'all
Katie.
for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm not going to interrupt you the whole time, but we did have someone comment cake is their favorite dessert. That is
Mine too.
Apple pie. I have a weakness for all things apple dessert.
So JD, if I'm remembering correctly, has won a week at the little gym, and we all use a week at camp, right?
I'm pretty excited because JD's also a parent, so I'm loving seeing all of our foster parents engaging in our life and winning all the giveaways.
That is so wonderful. So we've talked about this earlier in the show that not everyone is called to foster, but everyone can do something, and it only takes one person to make a difference. And so to help us learn more about Foster the Love, we have Katie here, who I just adore. You are such a great personality. You're so wonderful to be around. And she has some questions for Heather about Foster the Love.
So Heather, I think maybe one of the biggest questions for people is how many children in Louisiana are in the foster care system?
Right. So usually we have between 4,000 and 4,500 children in foster care. Right now, we're actually on what I would consider the low side because we are under 4,000 children. We have about 3,800 kids in care right now. So even though that's maybe not the peak of what we usually have in care, that's still a significant number of children who are not in their biological homes and are in temporary care through foster care here in Louisiana.
We talk about over 3,000, children in foster care. How many foster parents are there out there in Louisiana?
Unfortunately, only about half as many. So we typically range somewhere between 1,800 and 2,000 foster families, which is not enough. We're always needing more foster families because when we have a shortage of foster families, it just makes the experience of children being removed from their homes more traumatic because it might mean that they are waiting in the DCFS office, waiting for a home to take them in. Or we have sibling groups that are being separated because we don't have enough homes with space to be able to take an entire sibling group together. And so they're having to be broken up. Or we are really overworking our foster parents because so the state of Louisiana will allow you to have 6 children in your home at one time when you're a foster home. And that includes all your kids. So if you have biological kids, adopted children, and foster children, then the maximum number of children is 6. And for some people, that's no big deal. I have 5, so to throw a 6th kid in there wouldn't be that big of a deal. But when you're working with kids who have experienced trauma, they require a lot more attention and a lot more patience. And so when you have that many children in a home at one time, it makes a lot more work for our foster families. So if we were able to have more foster families and more foster homes than needed, then the workload is spread farther and we're not overworking our current foster families.
So Heather, what can people do to support Foster the Love?
Well, there's lots of ways. So a lot of what we do, and for anybody that might be just jumping on, we provide direct support for our kids in foster care, and we are supporting the families that have stepped up to be foster families. And we actually do a lot more than that. We do a lot to support biological families in either trying to help them stay out of the foster system or when they're working on reunification with their children. But a great way, obviously every nonprofit needs financial support. So we always welcome financial support. But volunteer, get involved. We have lots of volunteer opportunities. Advocate for us within the community. Be willing to get out there and talk about the work that we're doing and encourage other people to get involved. Participate in any events we have. We have several fundraising events throughout the year. We also have several volunteer events throughout the year where we always welcome our community to get involved. And we have and I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but we have several programs, that are ongoing throughout the year where we can always use volunteers, both as individuals and businesses and organizations, getting them to jump in and be a part of it.
So you have what you call a first night's bag. What are the items that are in there, or what are the items that are needed for that bag?
So our first night bags, so we call them that because they are intended to help kids in their first night in care. Many times when children are removed from their homes, it's done in a very quick and an emergency situation. And so rarely do they get to bring any of their own clothing, their own hygiene items. And so the development of that program came from our own experience. When our two children that we adopted came to us, they literally came with the clothes on their back. And so we were scrambling late in the evening to get to the store to go get things that we needed. And so our first night bags include hygiene and clothing essentials for a child's first night in care. And so for our babies, that's going to be diapers, wipes, bottles, pacifiers, pajamas. We always include a blanket and a comfort item in every bag, from preemie to extra large adult. Everybody gets a comfort item and a blanket. And so for our older kids, once they get past the baby stage, we have socks, underwear, pajamas, and again, all those hygiene essentials: toothbrush, toothpaste, soap. And so for a complete list of the items that we need for those bags, you can visit our website or our Facebook page. We've got it pinned to the top of our Facebook page as well, the items that go in each individual bag.
And you talk a little bit
And
about programs a little bit earlier. What is Community Closet?
so our community closet, so if you see behind me, you can see I've got some clothing racks with clothes on it. We've also got storage bins. So we take donations of new and gently used clothes, shoes, baby equipment, furniture, bedroom furniture, and we just make it available to our families at no cost. And so we have hours where we are open and families can come and shop. We have foster families come. We say shop, but we're not charging them. It's all free. But it's open to our foster families, CASA workers, DCFS workers. And like I said, we even work in supporting biological families who are either working to keep their kids in their home so that they don't have to enter foster care, or working towards reunification with their children.
And if there's any businesses out there that want to get involved, how can they get involved?
So we've got several different ways for businesses to get involved. I mean, obviously, if they wanted to become financial contributors, we have several businesses in Acadiana already who are regular sponsors of our organization. We have events that, we're always needing sponsorship for. And then also for any businesses that offer goods or services, we have a community collaborators program. So that's where we have local businesses that will offer discounted services or goods to our foster families. And so we have a whole program for that where our foster parents actually register with our organization and we issue them. It looks like a Costco card, and so they're able to utilize that with our businesses that we're in partnership with in getting those discounted goods and services.
Are there volunteer opportunities for community members?
Yeah. So you can volunteer with our community closet. We always need help sorting through clothes and other donations. We have events coming. We actually have an event coming up in July where we'll be assembling first night bags. So with our first night bags, we do that in a variety of ways. So you can create completed bags and bring them, donate them to us. You can collect the items and bring them to us, or you can even participate in one of our events where we provide all the items, we provide the bags and everything, and we assemble these bags. It's a great way for the community to get involved with our first night bags um, because there are so many options, for participating in that program.
That's wonderful. So I I heard about Foster the Love a while back from the Music Box. My daughter attended the Music Box. I know that they support Foster the Love. You kind of talked about them. You talked about businesses being involved, which I think is really great. Just because we can all do something, even if big or small, we can all do something. And so hopefully people will get out to some of those events that you talked about and help bring awareness to Foster the Love and the foster community, and just people like me who want to do something and that don't know where to start. This
Right.
is a good way to start, just bringing awareness
Yeah.
to the needs of the foster community.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're interested in volunteering or getting involved in any way, you can either register on our website or you can email our volunteer coordinator at volunteer@fosterthelovela.org. Um, watch our Facebook page, our website. We're always putting up volunteer opportunities. At the end of July, we're going to have a first night bag assembly event, and simultaneously, we'll be doing a school supply and uniform drive. We've partnered with LPSS in helping with their their department that helps children who are in foster care in making sure we can help in providing um, school supplies and uniforms for children when they're entering foster care. So we'll be posting the details about that next week. But we're looking to collect all brand new items for uniforms, backpacks, and school supplies.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Katie, for joining us and for helping bring awareness to the foster community and Foster the Love. It's such a great way to get involved, and we thank you. We know that you're very busy too, so thank you for helping us with this.
And I thank you so much for asking me to.
Well, Katie, I'm gonna remove you from our feed, but thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
All right, you guys too.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. So Heather, we have another special guest, but before we bring on our special guest, let's do another giveaway.
Sounds good.
Okay, so for this giveaway, the question is, what is your favorite childhood book? It could be something that you read to your children or something maybe that you read growing up and it was a favorite book. So I know my favorite childhood book was Happy Birthday Moon. It was such a cute little story and I still read it to this day. So if you comment in the comments below your favorite childhood book, you will win the first person to comment will win a week-long camp experience at the Little Gym of Lafayette. So now, Heather, we have another Heather that we will be welcoming to the show. I'm going to bring her on right now.
Yay, she made it.
In time. We got it though.
That's great.
Well, hi, Heather. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So are you one of our foster families?
I am. I have been fostering for the same amount of time as Heather. We were both actually in class together. That's how we met up in training classes. And so I've been fostering for about 4.5 years. And I also work with Extra Mile with foster parents as a foster parent partner. I now train foster parents for their certification, and then work with Foster the Love now as a volunteer, as a board member at one time, but life got a little crazy, so now just kind of helping out where I can. So
Yeah. So like you said, we met 5 years ago in,
Right.
our parent certification training. And I think she was one of the first people that I talked to about starting Foster the Love. And I was like, I think I have a crazy idea. I said, you want to come on board? And so she jumped on board right away. And like she said, she was one of our founding board members. And so we're so thankful for her as a board member, but then also the work that she does as a foster parent.
So what advice would you give to someone out there who's thinking about fostering a child?
If it's put on your heart, go for it. You're going to be scared. You're going to have times where you think, I can't do this. It's not possible. Getting into it, going through the classes, you're going to have lots and lots and lots of doubts because the classes do open up a big reality about what foster care is really about. But if it's on your heart, just go for it. There's a reason why it's there, and there's a reason why you need to explore that. And then, I always say, God may give you more than you can handle, but he's not going to give you more than he and you can handle together. And so, so many of us, we come into this and people question that and they don't understand how we can do it. Sometimes I don't understand how we can do it or other foster parents can do it, because I look at other foster parents and think, wow, I could never go through what they're going through. But we're all geared exactly for what we need to do, whether it's as a foster parent or as a helper of a foster parent. We each have our own special, unique gifts. And I think if we're called to do it, we need to follow that.
And it sounds like you have a great support system within Foster the Love and within friends who are doing the same. And so is it like a good community and good support system?
Definitely, definitely. You never know what fostering is about until you're in it. And so once you're part of that community, you kind of can't ever get out of it almost. But it's a great community to be a part of. It's a very understanding community. And it's a lot of support. We rely on each other a lot. And where one has, a really good day, they can pull you up whenever you have your bad days. And so it's a big part. It's a big part of being a foster parent, is having these communities like Foster the Love and the foster parents involved in it, and the companies or the people who volunteer. That moral support is what gets us through the day sometimes. So,
Yeah. Hearing all that just brings tears to my eyes because I just know, how much it means to these children and the needs that you all are fulfilling for them is just and relying on your faith too. I think is so important, like you said, because you can do all things with him, and so I think that's really great. I don't want to put you on the spot, but are there any moments, like special moments, or like anything that just stands out in your head that you've experienced with this whole foster journey that you've been on?
whew, let's see. We've fostered in the last got backwards. Last 4.5 years, we fostered over 15 children, and we have not adopted. We actually are not an adoptive family. We only foster, um, but seeing the children go home and watching how hard their parents work to get them back, watching a single dad just do everything possible and his son go home and watch them thrive and buy their own home and, have a good job working through everything despite years and years and years of difficulties, watching them get back on track and their children going home and seeing how excited these children are to be back home with their family who's doing so well. It's always stands out. Those moments stand out more than any others. Our two little ones, we actually have no foster children right now. Our two little ones went home about a month ago. And watching their parents get all 5 of their children back. And then a couple of days later, video and FaceTime me with the 1-year-old that we had. He was 17 months old and wasn't walking, would stand up. We knew he could walk, but he just wasn't doing it. And a couple of days later, they video me and say, look, he's walking. He's walking. And he took like 5 steps, and just feeling like he had waited till he got home for that special moment to walk to his mama, because for that time I was, like a mama, but I wasn't his mom.
Mhm.
And that relationship and watching those moments unfold, um, trying not to cry. Those are
We all are.
those are what, we live for, and still being a part of their life, after our first placement, after 4 years, still being a part of their lives, and them coming and visiting us and watching them grow. Uh, it's those kinds of things that keep us going. Yeah.
It does. It resembles the role of a teacher. I know I taught school for just 1 year, but um, I felt like that. And I know that it's an important role to kind of teach them, guide them, and then kind of see them off to explore the world and to grow and
Right.
thrive. And it's just an amazing thing that you all are doing. And I know the community appreciates all that you all are doing.
Thank you.
With what
Thank
Heather
you.
said, that's the goal of foster care. We want to see families thrive. We want to see families be successful. We want to see families reunited. And it's challenging. And I think that's one of the questions, as foster parents, so many times we get the comment, oh, I couldn't do that because I couldn't love them and then let them go. And so, I struggled with how to respond to that initially. And really it's to say it's worth the heartache, because we can work through that as adults.
Mhm.
But for a child to be able to step into a loving home, while their parents get stronger, and hopefully
Right.
everybody's experiencing healing, so that reunification can happen. And now we have a stronger family within our community. And so 65% of children who enter foster care in Louisiana get to go back home. So we need families that are willing to foster. And then we do still need families that are willing to adopt too, because we do
Right.
have that 35% of children who don't go home. And so we have families like Heather's who will foster and love on them. But if it comes to a point where the parents don't get reunified, then they work on with the state to find a permanent placement, for these kids. And then there's other homes that are willing, when we stepped into foster care, we stepped in like, okay, we're going to foster for as long as we're needed to foster. And if the opportunity to adopt comes up, then we're open and we're willing and ready to do that as well. And so we had the opportunity to adopt 2 children. And so then, but we did continue to foster for a time after that as well, in short term and emergency situations. And that's another thing too. There's all types of foster parents that are needed. Sometimes we just need foster parents that are available for those short term placements, where or just an emergency. Okay, this child came in late at night, and DCFS knows that they have families they can call to just take them in the middle of the night while they work on finding long-term placements for them. So there's all kinds of ways to get involved, even as a foster parent. It doesn't look the same for everybody.
Well, as we wrap up this wonderful live event, I just want to say thank you to both of you. You both are just um, such wonderful people who are willing to nurture these young children or even older children, so that they feel safe and warm and welcomed. Um, and thank you for doing all that you're doing, and for bringing tears to my eyes. I mean, I cried easily, but but this is just so special. So thank you both for joining, and thank you to Foster the Love for collaborating on this fundraising event. If anyone out there still wants to donate, all proceeds go to Foster the Love, and you get some really cool things with your donations, like these new masks. They're little kid masks, and so they have Alycat on it, and they're really comfortable. They have like this little foam padding, and they're not hot. We actually wore them at the beach, so they're not too hot. And of course, you can get like little plushies and stuff with your donations, and it supports such a good cause. And so we'll leave it up, right, Heather? We'll leave up the fundraiser
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we've got lots of goodies that we want to give away. So go make a donation, and we'll so we've got the Alycat goodies, and we've got goodies from Foster the Love. We've got our notepads and our totes and t-shirts. And so we want to be able to give a lot of it away. So
yes.
we'll have the fundraiser up. You can visit our website, fosterthelovela.org. You can do, /Alycat, or if you forget the /Alycat part, you can find the links within the homepage on the website.
So the website for you all, I think it was incorrect. I'm changing it right now. Is it fosterthelovela.org?
Yes.
/Alycat. Okay. So that's where you can donate if you want. And I guess it's time to sign out. Thank you so much. This has been so fun.
Thanks so much.
You.
I really appreciate you. Thank you for reaching out to us and partnering with us and bringing awareness to the work that's happening in our community.
Well, I know there's a great need for help and support in the foster community in Louisiana. And so anything that I can do or Alycat can do, just let us know. We're happy to help.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.